After spending 89 hours completing this game, on brutal mode, mind you, I've come to realize that Death Stranding might be special. People often throw around the phrase masterclass of a game, and I kind of agree with them. The game kind of soaks into your bones quietly, slowly, and then all at once you realize this is a masterpiece. That phrase is thrown around so often. The game actually makes a good argument for what art might be considered to be. Music, movies, writing. This game has everything. So I would argue it's an art piece. It's beautiful, it's strange, it's heartbreaking, and somehow kind of entertaining. Like if you played through it, you know that all the cutscenes that you might have seen online, all the spoilers and clips, out of context, they make no sense, and they don't ruin the journey for you. And a big part of that non-ruining of the journey is because of the people you meet along the way. Villains and friends alike have motivations and backstories, belief systems, and those things are what grounds you into the story. They ground you into the reality, and I think that plays a huge part in enjoying the overall experience. The clip that started this video, that's technically a spoiler, but you have no idea what it's for, what it's about. But if you haven't played it, seriously, what are you waiting for? 89 hours, and 9 of those hours were cutscenes, and I enjoyed every single one. So 80 hours of ghost goo and epic deliveries, musical hikes and crying babies. To tell you why Death Stranding 2 on the beach is not just worthy of playing, I kind of have to explain to you why it is one of the most important games of the PS5 generation. If not just one of the most important games of the console generation in general. So let's take this one step at a time. I think I can share this without spoiling too much of the game, but it's about connection versus isolation, with themes of the body as a vessel and a prison, consciousness, memory, the mind, free will versus determinism, death, resurrection, the horror of the unknown, cosmic or internal, limbo, an ever-changing sense of self, like are we ever truly ourselves or just playing the roles assigned to us? Death Stranding 2 doesn't have to be perfect. It isn't, but it is exceptional. It takes that strange, weird, polarizing DNA of the first game and evolves it into something bigger, bolder, more personal. It's a story about connection, grief, surviving in a world that doesn't even really know it wants to survive. And there's little critiques here and there too, about social networks, artificial intelligence, and how corporations twist necessity into dependence, but it never tells you how to feel. You don't get these long-winded narrations about put it to the man and people must rise up. It lets you experience it. Instead, the entire story is on your shoulders. We need you to do this because it's the right thing to do. I don't even think they ever ask you if you agreed that it was the right thing to do. They just assume that, hey, this is what you're good at, and I'm simply asking you to do what you're good at. And you could watch the entire movie online, like I said, 9 hours, and you still won't actually get it because the game aspect is what's important, right? So 9 hours of video, movie-like quality, but you won't get it until you walk through it yourself. You won't get it until you make that climb, until you fall, cry, scream, rebuild, and keep going. So Death Stranding 2 could very well be the first game that I've played in recent memory that kind of makes you question what a video game is supposed to be. Just entertainment or something more? The gameplay of Death Stranding might be the most misunderstood loop in modern gaming. People mock the first game as a walking simulator. This sequel, it says, yeah, let's walk some more, but this time we're gonna do it with purpose. Except everything's more dynamic, more intense, and more fun. You have combat with that signature Metal Gear feel and flavor to it. You have more tools, more traversal options, more ways to survive, and oddly enough, more ways to screw up spectacularly.
I'm afraid that remains unclear.
Well, we now know Lou was born 11 years ago. There may very well have been a connection with Neil.
You know, my fondness for this place isn't wholly nostalgic. It has the most delightful hot springs, you see. Though, truth be told, even they aren't my favorite thing about it. Even they aren't my favorite thing about it.
Another thing I love about this game is the multiplayer. You'll see signs, bridges, generators, all left behind by other players that were there before you. And sometimes those things saved your life. Other times, players just peed on the ground and left these little glowing mushrooms. I think that even at a certain point, I began to recognize certain names that I've come across on my travels, and I'd be like, I trust this guy. If he put this power generator here or this mountain climbing gear here, I'm gonna trust him, because maybe he has been through this and he knows a little bit better than I do. Which also made me more mindful of the gear that I would place. I wouldn't just play something randomly because it made this particular moment easier for me. I would think about the strategicness of it, because that's what this game is, us connecting through the strand system, this weird asynchronous multiplayer. And I think that brings value. Really something amazing once you see it really, really working.
That's a nice photo.
Thanks. They'll make for a great memento.
I love it.
You take care, Sam.
Right, later.
If you played Death Stranding, tell me if you had this feeling. You crest the ridge, the camera pulls back, and a track from some random song starts playing. You pause and you enjoy the sense of accomplishment. You feel the moment. The soundtrack in Death Stranding is pretty unique. And it doesn't just support the game, it defines it. It hits you at just the right moment, with the right chords, the right lyrics, and suddenly you're not just playing anymore, you're reflecting on what major accomplishment you just did to get to where you were. Even now, I wish I could play you the full soundtrack or some clips of the songs that are in the game for those of you who haven't played, but you know, YouTube would probably freak out about that. And it's not just the music. The ambient sound design is phenomenal. You have rain, wind, the crunch of gravel, your BB-8's little coos and ahs when things calm down. All those small details ground you. It puts you there. And just like that, you forget you're even holding a controller.
This is not the song from the scene you saw, but it holds the same weight, and it's just as raw.
And above all, let's not forget how good this game looks. Death Stranding 2 is easily one of the most visually striking games of this console generation. The lighting, the weather, the haunting emptiness, and the absolute beauty of a world that's just past ruined but could probably still be saved. Every time I arrived in a new area, I looked around and said, "This is awesome. This looks like a real place." And I would argue, if you took especially in the beginning and the end, the cutscenes they show, I would challenge you to tell me if it's fake or if it's real. Sometimes you just couldn't tell. That combined with the music, I would just stop and stare. And again, even after 80 hours, it never got old. When you see other players' structures across the horizon, the world actually feels lived in because you know someone is there participating in your single-player game. It's a full experience. The story, the gameplay, the sound, the visuals, all working together. And when they meet in the middle with you, keeping it together, we all win. So this game was created by, written by, directed by, level designed by, the chiral network designed by Hideo Kojima. And that's just the way he is. He's always about messages in his games. So you can't really consider it just a game. It's more of a message that's in a bottle. A strange, beautiful, broken message in a fractured, taped together bottle, but still a message in a bottle, sent across a disconnected world, asking you to just look and listen. So if you haven't played Death Stranding yet, take the first step. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. All right, guys, just want to make this quick, small video. Appreciate you being here. Catch you next time.
This is not the song that plays on cue, but it feels like something you once knew. If the chord